The content presented is for entertainment purposes only. Some content may not be suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Well, hello, you beautiful people. How are y'all doing today?
Woohoo. Howdy, partner.
Mr. Ann, what are you doing over there? You on your phone?
I'm looking
I'm on my phone.
for stuff.
For stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You wanna tell us something interesting that's been interesting for you in the last couple of weeks?
Me?
That's exciting and happy and fun? Yeah.
Gotta go on vacation with my husband.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
how
like
was
vacationing?
how was your guys' vacation, by the way?
Chill.
Yeah?
Yeah, we didn't do much. It was too cold and kind of rainy and snowy.
Where'd you guys end up going again?
Just outside of
Park City.
like in
Oh,
Heber.
yeah.
Like
that's
a little ski
Ski-
lodge thing
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
Heber.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, if you know where all of the old Olympic
No, it wasn't there.
oh, it's not there?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's a different place. My bad. No, it was really fun. Like we did a puzzle, we hung out,
I like puzzles.
we talked a lot, read. Like I'm almost halfway through my Stephen King book.
Which book is
I've
that
been
again?
reading. It's his book on writing.
Oh, okay.
So it has like all of his tools, like a bunch of like memories and stuff. It's actually pretty interesting. It just started getting into the whole toolbox stuff. So it's talking about grammar right now. But I really enjoy that. It was really good. We did a puzzle. We did a 500-piece puzzle.
Wow.
I know, we're like old people. It's fun.
No, I mean, like, I feel like puzzles are becoming more and more popular. I know so many people, like in their early 20s that are still doing puzzles just on their,
Really?
yeah, just,
It doesn't
I know.
seem like a younger thing.
one of my friends at his house, he has like a big, cardboard board.
Cardboard board.
Cardboard board. Yeah, he has this big thing of cardboard, and he just has like all these puzzle pieces on it, and it's the whole Star Wars. It's like the Star Wars: A New Hope poster, and he's just
Oh,
working on that right now.
nice.
So, yeah, I mean it's.
Very
I mean,
cool.
yeah, I don't like puzzles because I don't have that patience. So I mean, like the 1,000-piece puzzles, I see people doing them, and I'm like, no, I couldn't do that. I don't have the patience for that.
We
Yeah.
actually did get a 1,000-piece puzzle.
Yeah.
We did. We bought one over at what's the place called? The Red Barn or the Barn something?
Yeah.
What's
On our way
the
home.
what's the picture?
Just like a old country general store kind of thing.
Oh, okay. That
Nothing
sounds fun.
super
Nothing super
exciting.
crazy, but
I want to get like a customizable puzzle.
oh,
Get
like
like
do
a
like your
big-
own picture or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of cool.
That would be baller. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, what's new with you, Mr. Alakai?
What is new with me?
What is new with you besides the dog mauling you with
I know.
with love?
Puppies and podcasts today.
It's the Puppies and Podcast Show.
Yeah.
Number 76.
What else is new? Just teaching myself a lot of new recipes on cooking. Thanks to HelloFresh. We're not sponsored, but I mean, like, you know, HelloFresh, if you want to sponsor us, that would be cool. So,
There's a lot of people we would love to be sponsored by.
yeah.
A lot of cool stuff out there.
Yeah, but it's great because like I don't really cook a whole lot, or at least I didn't used to. But ever since like I started with them, it's just been great to like learn how to cook new things,
Yeah.
and it's actually good food. Like it's all the stuff is great. So, and I've kept some of the recipes and just kind of gone out and bought some of the stuff on my own, so that way I can just make it myself later. So
Right on. Right on.
yeah, it's fun stuff. I did a speech on chimpanzees last week in class.
Okay.
So did the whole explanation of why the words pet and chimpanzee do not belong in the same sentence together. So
Because they'll eat your face off.
yeah, I kind of like told the story of like Travis the chimp and then Mogamba the chimp. I don't know if you guys have heard those stories, but
Not.
just people getting their faces ripped off by chimps and being mutilated very violently. So
Yeah,
I think I
strong.
might have scared some of the people in my class, but people got to stop.
Rightfully so. I mean,
People got to stop
strong.
wanting chimps as pets. Like, no, they're wild. They got to stay wild. And it's so easy for us to be scared of like lions, tigers, sharks, bears, like all that stuff. That's super intimidating. But I mean, the ones that we really got to be afraid of are the ones that share 98% of our DNA. So, yeah. Did you know
chimps and worms.
Did you know that chimps worms?
Hmm?
Yeah, worms share about that much of DNA with human beings.
What?
Isn't that true?
I don't think that's right. I don't think that's
I'll
right.
Google it. I might be talking out of my behind.
I was gonna say, did you know that chimps can hunt with spears? And they know how to make spears.
That does not surprise me.
70%.
70%. Okay,
What?
my apologies.
How?
Worms share 70% of human DNA.
How much of our DNA do dogs share?
That's a good question. Let me ask.
Asking good old
How
Google
much
here.
DNA
Worms?
do
What?
dogs? 98.8%.
Oh wow. I guess.
Oh wait, that's between dogs and wolves. Excuse me.
Oh okay. Just
My
kidding.
my apologies. My apologies.
Dude, you know, the
let
biggest
me see
wolves.
this.
The biggest wolves in the world can be up to like 7 feet long.
They're huge. Like the dire
They're
wolves. Yeah, they're humongous.
Like the Game of Thrones dire wolves aren't really
Apologies. We
Yeah.
share 80 to 85% of our DNA with dogs.
okay.
But we're all carbon-based life, so that makes sense, especially
I
when
was
it
gonna
comes to
say,
cells and atoms and that kind of stuff.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good times.
Fun times. I'm giving a speech on a guy that I was studying an astral projection in a couple weeks.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. Guy who supposedly died doing like in an attempt to astral project. I don't know if you guys have heard that story, but
Mm-mm.
Not the story.
Not that
I've heard of
particular
astral
story, but
projection and
Yeah.
stuff.
yeah,
we should do an episode on that. I feel like we could dive in quite a bit on that.
Mm.
be interesting.
No, but it's basically just like this guy who attempted to astral project, and his roommate found him dead. But he was like still in a meditative position, and the medical examiners that found him could not find like an anatomically good cause of death.
Oh wow,
So yeah, crazy stuff.
They come back to life.
crazy.
I don't know. There are some stories where people will like go and see like the great beyond and like life after death. So they'll be able to have that explanation for it. But no, this guy just he either chose not to come back, or he ended up getting his silver cord severed and was not able to. So
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
yeah, crazy stuff.
It's wild.
Maybe next time I'm in charge, I'll do an episode on that.
Sounds good. Got a couple of weeks away. Hopefully, if we don't miss any.
Oh yeah.
As we're
Yeah.
coming up to the last couple of months of the year, where it gets
Yeah,
kind of
sure.
crazy.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add, Mr. Ian?
Mm-mm.
All right.
No, I'm a pretty chill
pretty chill today.
participant today.
Okay. Well, let's start with some interesting stuff that's been going on as
Wow.
of late. We want to talk a little bit about the current president and his administration wanting to do marijuana reform.
Mary Jane.
Mary Jane, the weed, the hashish, the ganja, the icky sticky purple.
It's an herb. It's an ancient herb that has existed for thousands of years, and it comes in many different forms and many different names.
Yes, it does. So let's go ahead and read, what our current president has said.
Yeah.
So as often as I said during my campaign for president, no one should be in jail just for using or possessing marijuana.
Thank you.
Sending people to prison for possessing marijuana has upended too many lives and incarcerated people for conduct that many states no longer prohibit. Criminal records for marijuana possession have also imposed needless barriers to employment, housing, and educational opportunities. And while white and black, of course we have to throw race in there, and brown people use marijuana at similar rates, black and brown people have been arrested, prosecuted, and convicted at
Disparaging.
that's a word. Disappropriate rates. Sure. Today I'm announcing I can't talk. I'm taking to end this failed approach. First, I'm announcing a pardon for all prior federal offenses of simple possession of marijuana. I've directed the Attorney General to develop an administrative process for the issuance, hey, I got that word, of certificates of pardon to eligible individuals. There have been thousands of people who have prior federal convictions for marijuana possession who may be denied employment, housing, or educational opportunities as a result. My action will help relieve the collateral consequences rising from these convictions. What about companies who still do P-tests for marijuana? Let's see if he talks about that.
Yeah.
Second, I am urging all governors to do the same with regarding estate offenses, just as no one should be in federal prison solely due to the possession of marijuana. No one should be in local jail or state prison for that reason either. Third, I'm asking Secretary of Health and Human Services and the Attorney General to initiate the administrative process to review expeditiously how marijuana is scheduled under federal law. Federal law currently classifies marijuana in Schedule 1, the Controlled Substance Act, and classification meant for those dangerous substances. This is the same schedule as for heroin and LSD, fentanyl and, crack, cocaine, all that fun stuff. Classification of fentanyl, methamphetamine, the drugs that are driving our overdose epidemic. Finally, even as federal and state regulation of marijuana changes, important limitations on trafficking, marketing, and underage sales should stay in place. Too many lives have been upended because of our failed approach to marijuana. It's time that we right these wrongs. Very interesting.
That is really interesting. I kind of wanted to hear more on the employment side, but
yeah, me too.
First of all, this is something that I heavily agree with, and I'm glad that he's bringing this up, because we need to stop arresting people for possession of marijuana. We need to stop firing people for testing positive for THC for drug tests. Yeah.
Well,
it's not necessary, and there is so much evidence for alcohol is much more dangerous than marijuana is.
Yeah.
Much more
Agreed.
dangerous.
It's much more dangerous, and even prescription medications, right? So,
Yeah.
for many companies, if you have a prescription for a pain med, you're allowed to have it in your bloodstream.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a prescription for marijuana, you're not.
Yeah, they can still defer your employment if you test positive.
Some of these hardcore pain meds can be much more detrimental mentally and stuff, are much more habit forming and addictive than marijuana, right?
Yeah.
And the whole story of marijuana as a gateway drug, I don't know.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either. I don't.
I think more than anything, alcohol is more of a gateway drug than marijuana is.
Probably.
I think I agree with that. Yeah. Because, studies, they've done extensive studies on this. And what's really interesting is that it was in use very much so, in the early 90s, and it wasn't, a big deal at all. We actually used hemp, which is a derivative of the marijuana family, which is it doesn't have the psychoactive, THC in it. And they used to use it for things like, building canvases for tents and for planes, making paper. Hemp
is also used for skincare. It's used for essential oils and healing methods.
Hemp is actually a really sustainable product. It grows much faster than timber. Things made out of hemp are much more durable. And everything. And in fact, there was a ton of propaganda against marijuana and hemp because a legislator who owned a huge timber industry was one of the, I don't know, if you watch, there's so many documentaries now, but Weed Etiquette or something is available on Hulu. It talks about, there's so many shows out there that kind of talk about the history of why marijuana became illegal.
Right.
And it was in large part propaganda. And it was, because the populations who utilized it and who 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 utilized it, the majority were people of color, you know, but also like it posed a threat to this particular industry. So
it
was silenced.
Yeah, the paper mills and the
timber industry and everything like that. Because things made out of hemp are much more durable. Longer lasting. And it grows so much faster than timber.
Yeah, you guys have seen my skin and my face. Like my bless you.
Sorry.
You okay? Bless you.
Ooh, goodness.
Woo.
Okay. Make it stop. Okay, got it.
She's making it rain in a different way.
Say it, don't spray it.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, but like you guys have seen my face. You guys know that I've struggled with acne. I mean, I've struggled with it since I was a kid, and I'm now like in my mid-20s and still struggling with it.
But actually looks, I was going to say, it looks much clearer right now.
You know why?
Why?
Because I use hemp products for my face.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Straight up. So, shout out to Ulta. I get my skincare products from Ulta, and it's all like this. It's a hemp gel that I put on my face at night. Or no, in the morning. I use the hemp gel on my face in the morning. And then at night, I also use like a hemp cream. And then I use these hemp patches
for like individual spots.
For any spots that are like really like gnarly and breaking out really bad. Like,
hey, babe, maybe we should try those on your things.
It is helpful.
I have kind of bad acne on different parts of my body.
I've got it really bad on my back. So but it's helpful and it does wonders. So,
really?
I mean, thank God that's legal. So
right. I mean, could you imagine like, you have cannabinoids in your bloodstream. Sorry, sir.
No, but I mean, we just it's not. It doesn't seem totally ethical to arrest people just for possession of marijuana, or to like let people go from their jobs that they've worked at for years and love, just because they come back positive for a THC drug test. Like, it just doesn't seem ethical. There are much more appropriate reasons to be putting people in jail and to be firing people.
And it's not like people are like habitually like smoking it like while they're at work or something like that.
They could be.
If you're doing that, you're silly. But let's, even like recreationally, if you're participating in it like after the fact in the evenings, on the weekends, like you would normally with like alcohol, I really don't see a problem with it, because what are some of the things that people have with it? Like they get a little silly.
It makes it so much easier for me to be talkative and social with people that I don't know. So.
I will be honest, like I utilize it as for medicinal purposes for migraines and stuff, because I get crippling migraines to the point where I'm blind and everything.
That goes along with migraines,
Yeah, and like, I can take, there's only so many over-the-counter pills you can take. And like my stomach was struggling taking like Advil and Tylenol and Aleve and
ibuprofen,
just trying to
sodium,
take the edge off. And even then it wouldn't, and so like I had to find an alternative, and I don't want to go with narcotics because my dad died that way, right? Like I saw what it did to him and his body. These prescription narcotics that are, under the guy, it killed him. It absolutely killed him. And so I'm like, I need something else. And I got my medical card, and it makes a huge difference. Huge difference. Just in being able to function when I start getting migraines and everything. But like anything else, it can be overused, right? Like,
yeah, definitely.
What are the negatives of overuse?
Honestly, anytime that I've had a negative or I've seen a negative experience with marijuana is because the person that's using it is using too much. So like,
it's laced with something. That's another issue.
Exactly. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Jacob. But like, a lot of people tend to talk about how they get like anxiety attacks. Like Jacob, I know that you mentioned you get pretty anxious when you have too much of a sativa, right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty common with a lot of people. I also think it has to do with the amount that you're taking and the strain that you're taking. If you're getting way
It's a big deal.
If you're getting way too anxious off of sativa, then try a hybrid. Try an indica.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to inhale it, then don't smoke it. Use an edible.
Yeah.
Or a concentrate, like an oil.
Or a concentrate. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
like a tincture.
Which I use. That's my
That's your main.
But it takes each one has like
pros and cons. Yeah.
Right. A tincture takes longer to kick in. Right.
Yeah.
If you smoke it, it's more instantaneous. So I mean, I use tincture and edibles as much as possible to kind of keep the stress levels chill, but still, even then, it's, I don't know.
So I know like it is something that slows your reaction time, so obviously don't drive with it. Don't be stupid.
Yeah.
Like, don't drive under the influence. I mean, that just it kind of goes the same with anything else, right? So I mean, like, I guess that
responsible.
I guess that is a negative, is like you can't drive, but I mean that should be a no-brainer.
Well, and it kills ambition a lot.
Yeah.
It kind of makes you more sedentary and more like less motivated.
Yeah.
For some people like they get motivated and creative on it, but
that's a normal
that's not
thing for
been
me anyway.
My experience personally.
You know what? Actually, it motivates me to go into the industry and like learn how to grow the plant and how to like take care of it and like and sell it medically or recreationally. I mean, like,
yeah,
that's the motivation it gives me. But I mean,
yeah, it like I think some of the negatives on it that are pretty, can be pretty brutal, but it's very low. Is for people who have the propensity to have schizophrenia. I know that is something that can exacerbate it and kind of push it forward. So that's definitely a negative. But at the same time, with all the research and all of the different instances, they haven't had anybody kill anybody on it. They haven't had anybody commit suicide on it. They haven't had anybody do anything violent on it.
That they know of.
Yeah, there's going to be some outliers that
aren't
reported, but
for sure, I'm sure that possibility is definitely out there. But I'm just saying, like when you partake in it, it's more of like a more openness than it is a closedness. It's not. It's more of a mood enhancement than like an upper or a downer. It's like definitely different than like narcotics for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
It can make you lazy. Like
it can be used
make you hungry.
It can be used as a crutch too, right? So it's like I'd rather do that than face what's really going on. Kind of thing.
So like non-addictive, but you can
dependent.
So
you can become
dependent if it's something that's part of your personality.
Physically, it's not physiologically, I don't believe like you go through withdrawals on it.
No. You don't.
Like your body doesn't become dependent on it, but that doesn't mean you can't become emotionally or mentally dependent.
Yes,
right.
That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, so like but that can be true with any substance. You can become emotionally dependent on freaking food.
Antidepressants.
But
a lot of those are addictive though anyway, so.
Oh. Like there's a whole thing on like Xanax and like,
Adderall.
Yeah. But I think if used wisely, it can, but it's hard because sometimes you don't always know.
Yeah, but that's why I also think it's important to educate yourself with it, just as important as it is to educate yourself with nicotine, with alcohol, like literally anything else. Like,
yeah, for sure.
If you don't understand it, then don't use it.
Well, and
like, educate yourself before you get into it,
Too much of one thing can be bad, even if that 100%. Thing is good.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you eat carrots,
you turn orange.
So.
You turn into Trump.
Jaundice.
Sorry.
Orange man bad. Orange man bad.
Anyway. But
some say I'm the best orange man.
Yeah. See, now I'm starting to slide. Oh, heavens. Jacob, I don't know what I'm doing.
All right, take it over, Alakai.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
So.
Yeah, too much of one thing is bad.
Help a sister out. Yeah, I need it down and back. It's like
hey guys, how's it going?
up in my face. Okay, I guess. Yeah, I can hear me.
If there are any audio listeners just on Spotify, you can't see what's going on.
It's okay.
Get the camera
It's in my face.
on Alakai, so
I could say so many things right now that would be so inappropriate.
I do that on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Wink.
Oh my gosh.
I was staring.
Can we just talk about how cute it is that Starbuck is over there chilling with? He loves Alakai.
Can't really see. He's like out
got
of
a little bit of legs
camera shot.
there.
But
Yeah.
Is he? Okay.
We can get a little bit of his legs right now.
Here, I'll snap a picture
He's funny.
that we can post or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's adorable. Yeah, you can kind of see him.
I love
back
how
there in the back.
Alakai, you're just one of the family. You're just.
It totally is. That's what happens when you have
Aw.
close friends. You like feel like you're really close, even though you're far away. You always feel like you're close.
So cute.
Even though I don't call you 5 times a week, I always think about you
I
every
don't
day.
want people calling me 5 times a week.
Oh,
I agree. That's why I only try to call every once in a while.
The only person that I'll really call and have like long, deep conversations with is probably my mom. I probably should call my cousin though. Right? But
it's hard. The older you get, and life happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It gets harder to maintain relationships, right?
Well, I mean, like stuff happens. Like you get married, you have kids, and then it's just like, yeah.
Yeah. So I was actually talking to somebody about this. So like one of my best friends, like we've known each other 11, 12 years now.
Long time.
It's a long time.
It's a
and it's
decade.
well into adulthood, right?
Uh-huh.
Like we were both adults. But when I first met him, he only had 3 kids. Now he's got
That's
7.
Holy shiznits.
Yeah. He's quite.
And
he has
he's a rock
quite
star.
the family.
But like he and I and his family, like he's like one of my best friends. Like no matter how long it's been since we've talked, there's that mutual like, I love you, brother. I love you, sister. It's like a
Yeah,
brother
yeah.
sister love. And I love his family. His kids are so stinking cute.
You guys ever smoke weed together?
Oh no. I'm a little nervous what he would be like on weed. Actually, you know what? It might actually help him a little bit because he is definitely ADHD.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure, but I forgot what I was gonna say. I had a brain fart. My bad.
It just takes a lot because, I mean, family and life and kids and stuff. But, I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, it's kind of... I love those relationships, though, where, like, even if you don't talk for a long time, once you do get back together and start talking again, it's like, great, we just pick up where we left off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the relationship is still there. That chemistry and that love is still there.
Yeah.
It's the same friendship. Like, nothing's different. It's just...
Well,
gotta catch up on a lot.
And it's hard, too, because, like, a lot of the friends that I had growing, like, in my 20s and stuff, they're married with kids.
Yeah.
And I'm married, but I don't have kids. So it's not like we have a lot to relate about. Our lives are so different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
One of my best friends in this town is also a father, and he's one of the best guys that I know. And it's not. We try to hang out like at least once a week because that's fairly doable for him. It's pretty easy for me just because I'm just a student and I can usually find the time. But like for him, he's got like a lot of responsibility. He's got 2 kids now,
How old is he?
He's 28.
Oh, okay, so you guys are
28?
pretty similar in age.
Yeah. But like we love a lot of the same things, and like we usually try to make it a point to set time aside for each other to hang out because we have that kind of relationship where, like, we'd go to hell. We'd go to hell for each other if we had to, just like I would for you guys. But,
Aw.
Likewise,
Absolutely.
buddy.
Let's go.
Likewise.
Let's go to war.
Well, wait.
I don't know that I want to go to war, but I will.
Let's not go unnecessarily.
Well, yeah, not unnecessarily.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, did you get a chicken fart?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
But-
he got a chicken fart.
Anyways.
Chicken fart.
Wow.
Yeah, they're
But,
pretty
like,
stinky, aren't they?
Yeah. No, but this is one of the things that I love about Mary Jane is it's one of those things that tends to spread more love than it spreads violence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, it's
I have.
I agree.
so
Like,
I mean,
some of the best conversations, like, honestly.
like the culture behind it with like the whole hippie culture, like there's
Yeah, it's very chill.
I think that stuff is great. Like
Yeah.
we're all here trying to make friends and be family and love each other.
One
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Bob Marley, man.
One heart, let's get
together
together and
and
feel
feel
alright.
I want to listen to some Bob Marley now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that, man.
I think overall, I think this is definitely a win, especially for those families who have struggled
100%.
with with the federalization of marijuana, and just knowing that retroactively they're going to be releasing people who have federal offenses against them with just even simple possession.
Yeah, that's awesome.
As long as it's non-violent, obviously. If there's
Yeah.
violence involved, that's
Well,
another story.
and-
But my other question is like, what about businesses that are going to probably continue this thing where they're going to continue drug tests and keep people from working, even though it's legalized in majority of the states in the United States? Like, what's up with that?
That's going to make me nervous. I feel like that's going to continue and stay in Utah. I'm pretty sure Utah's going to keep doing that. Just because of who's running the state. So
Yeah, that's the one conservative Republican like ideology I do not espouse to.
Yeah, because of who's running the state and the business owners that are
running the
individual-
businesses. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. My
Maybe we need
fingers
to move to
crossed that
Austin.
that's
You know
not
what would
gonna.
be so awesome
Somewhere else.
is if like one of the big huge like doTERRA or New Skin
Oh
or something
my
like
goodness,
that
if
got
they
into
started,
that
like-
yeah,
and like doing tinctures and
I mean, like,
stuff.
Florida.
There we go.
Florida sells marijuana just out of gas stations. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I think that's kind of awesome.
But shoot, do you know how much money would be in that?
Oh,
In
dude,
the billions, especially if they can finally allow no longer cash, like they can do card and like debit and stuff like that.
marijuana businesses would thrive so much, dude.
They already are,
I mean, yeah, they are, but I mean, like, still.
but it's difficult.
was-
like right now, especially because of the federalization of its illegality.
Yeah.
Like they literally
still
have
have to do
have
cash.
like it's all cash. So
Uh-huh.
they literally have to put like bundles of like thousands and thousands, like tens of thousands of dollars in a duffel bag and give it to somebody who's an armed guard, and take it in like one of those Brink trucks or something like that to cart it to wherever they're going to hold it. Like there's like the banks won't touch it. Like they can't because of its illegality.
Yeah,
FDIC.
exactly.
Yeah. Crazy. Any final thoughts?
Actually, I want to share my favorite fun fact about marijuana
Okay.
before we move on. Did you guys know that historically, Jesus was a cannabis advocate?
No, I did not know that.
Okay, so let me explain this a little further.
Please
for you.
do.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm interested.
So there
Because I'm
are
like, what?
so there are two places that the evidence is shown, and that's in the Bible, and that's in ancient Assyrian medical tablets. So these ancient Assyrian medical tablets contain like the recipes for the oils that Jesus would use to anoint and heal people. First of all, the name Christ is not his actual name. That's the name that was given to him, and it means the anointed, right?
right.
Okay, so
His real name is Jesus of Nazareth.
Yes.
exactly.
Okay.
So Jesus of Nazareth, also known as Jesus the Christ, the anointed. So in these ancient Assyrian medical tablets, and it comes up in the Bible too, there is the main ingredient for the oils that he used is kanebosum. Now kanebosum in modern day English translates to
Cannabis.
cannabis.
Oh.
And the word the term kanebosum comes up several times in the Bible. Specifically in the points where it talks about the oils that he uses to anoint and heal people.
Oh, interesting. I like that.
So make the connection.
So there was Joe Rogan a few years back had a guy on who talked about how like mushrooms and like natural like DMT and cannabis and everything were utilized in religious ceremonies through Christian texts and stuff, and it was like it was in the Holy of Holies and all that stuff.
So not just Christian texts, but also like it's used in a lot of different cultures. Like,
Can I call you back, Mom?
Oh, hi, Mom.
Okay.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, everybody says hi. She says hi back. Love you. Bye.
But it's also used in like in Norse beliefs, in Celtic beliefs, in like
it's been around forever.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, because I was actually having this conversation with my NLP practitioner that I meet with. She does doTERRA.
Okay.
And she's an RN, and she said that she's looked into and had a lot of conversations with people. Look at him making his bed. He's so freaking cute. But there have been studies even like about the use of mushrooms and microdosing and stuff, and how it's actually done better for people with PTSD. It's like more effective than therapy. It's more effective than medications and everything. And like having like these intense sessions, and I've looked into it, and there are because it is legal for like indigenous people to do it.
It's like a way to access like your third eye in a sense. Yeah.
Or to even just like kind of remove that barrier. And there have been, and interestingly enough, there have been people even in the LDS faith, like bishops and stuff, who have done these. Like
ayahuasca.
Yeah. And I've looked into it, and because it is legal for indigenous people, like peyote and all that sort of stuff, they are able to do it. Like it's legal, and you can go and do it and have these trips basically. And it is a journey, and it's like you set an intention, all this sort of stuff, and you go through it, and it helps cure a lot of things. People have been cured of depression and suicidal thoughts much faster than any other thing. So I'm just like, it's interesting but it's like you're open to seeing. I think they want to keep, and when I say they, I mean people in power, want to keep it away from the masses, because if people are enlightened, they're not as easily controlled.
Yeah.
If people are enlightened and not buying into all the crap that's being spoon-fed to them through social media or advertising or mainstream media and stuff, and they can see through that, then they can't be controlled, right? So it's very interesting how that's happening. So I feel like there's an awakening on so many levels, but then there's also propaganda to misuse it as well. Because it, again, with anything, if used too much, it can make people go crazy.
Definitely. 100%.
There's people who had a little too much LSD in the 70s, and they're complete cuckoo.
Yeah.
Rian, thank you for that. Because now if I ever have kids, how am I supposed to tell them not to do drugs? I'm going to change the phrase. Don't do too many drugs, kids.
Or don't do them until
don't do the wrong drugs,
in your 20s, for sure.
No, this is what you
100%.
say. Like you say, because honestly, the brain is still developing up until 24, 25.
Yeah.
Beyond that, then, I didn't get into medicinal marijuana until I was 40.
Yeah.
It's only been 2 years.
And I only tried it once, I was in my late 20s.
I tried it once, and I never even got high.
Oh, I was blitzed, but there was something else in it, because I've tried the regular stuff, and it's a very different experience.
Yeah.
But what was really interesting is that this was actually somewhere between 1914 and 1925, so around alcohol prohibition era. 26 of the states at that time prohibited the plant. And I think that's really interesting because before then it wasn't illegal. So
yeah, so it wasn't illegal.
Interesting.
Just like cocaine wasn't illegal, and it was used in Coca-Cola. Mm-hmm. It was a secret ingredient. I wonder what. Huh.
You want to do some Coke? You got some Coca-Cola? Yes, sure. Let's call it that.
Well, and it was even like cocaine was actually used for teething children. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like what
they used
the
to
crap?
they used to put like bourbon on their fingers and put it on their gums. Yeah, that was like a normal thing.
I don't know
nuts.
That is nuts.
So let's move on to some interesting stuff that's going on in Twitter news. You guys heard the Twitter news as of late?
Elon Musk is buying Twitter or bought Twitter.
It's
Elon
official.
Musk is official. He's now trans, so he is the first trans owner of Twitter. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, what?
Hold up. What just happened?
Okay, you need to stop before we get slapped with misinformation on that sucker.
It was a joke.
Up.
It was a joke. Obviously, I was gonna explain that it was just joking.
Woo.
So Elon Musk all but confirmed on Wednesday, this is October 26th, his $44 billion acquisition of Twitter will indeed go through, sharing the news with a joke video on the social media platform. Musk first changed his Twitter bio to Chief Twit, an apparent nod to report he'll follow through with his acquisition by Friday's court-mandated deadline. If he and Twitter don't reach an agreement by then, they will face off at a trial in Delaware. An hour later, Musk tweeted a video of him at Twitter's San Francisco headquarters carrying a sink, captioning the video, "Entering Twitter HQ. Let that sink in." We need to cherish Elon Musk. He is an American treasure, for sure. The world's richest man will address Twitter's employees directly Friday, according to a memo sent to staff viewed by Bloomberg. Twitter declined comment to Forbes.
I'm looking at his Twitter profile right now. Chief Twit is this. This man.
All hail to the chief. All hail to the chief. So,
my God.
All right. So that's a pretty big deal. Like with the changing of hands, especially with how crazy Twitter has been, along with a lot of these other large social media conglomerates. But I'm actually kind of curious. What are you guys' thoughts with it changing hands to Elon Musk?
All I have to say right now, Elon, leave some money for the rest of us, man.
You asshole! Stop taking everything.
Like, I'm paying.
Just
like,
kidding.
I'm going to Smith's and finding like eggs for $5 for just a dozen eggs. $5 for a gallon of milk, and you're over here with $44 billion. Leave some for the rest of us, goddammit.
How about I just buy Twitter? Like, we have that much FU money. Like, could you imagine, like, if we could get somebody with a reasonable mind to take over Google right now?
So,
like, that would be nuts.
Yeah. But I'm on his profile and I'm looking at a few of his tweets that came out in the last 24 hours.
Share 'em.
Twitter will be forming a content moderation council with widely diverse viewpoints.
That's good.
That's good.
So, yeah. No major content decisions or account reinstatements will happen before that council convenes. So,
excuse me.
Solid. I love that. Comedy is now legal on Twitter.
Yay! All hail to the chief.
Twit.
There's a picture of him at Twitter's headquarters coffee bar with Walter Isaacson. Oh, looks like they're having a lot of fun. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, like, all his tweets in the last, like, 4 or 5 days have all just been regarding Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
wasn't
cool.
there one that, like, I thought I saw something where the top execs say, like, one of the agreements was you can't fire anybody in your purchase. And, like, his response is,
I'm firing everyone.
What did you do to what productivity did you like? What did you do to be productive this week or something like that?
Yeah.
I found the entering Twitter, let that sink in video. So,
That's hilarious.
it's, oh my goodness. That is funny.
So,
oh my goodness.
so apparently he has had it acquired. He has had his meeting, right? This is as of last week or the week before, I believe. So this was, so it says Elon Musk here is planning to fire 1,000 staffers at Twitter as soon as he purchases the social media platform is complete, the Daily Mail reported. According to the report, he will fire many of the firm's woke staff following the transfer of ownership, which will take about 6 months, after which Musk will likely to wield the axe. But then within the next 3 years, Musk anticipates making thousands of new hires, swelling the ranks to around 11,000 employees, up from 7,500 currently. Much of the new talent is likely to be likely to be in the field of engineering. If Twitter acquisition completes, the company will be super focused on hardcore software engineering, design, infosec, and server hardware, Musk tweeted. So
it sounds like he already had that conference then.
Yeah, this was back in May. So he already had the idea that he was going to be firing some individuals. Yeah. So
okay, so he already had a plan set in place. I mean, smart.
So it was public. Like, people knew that was going to happen once he acquires it. So I don't think there was any disagreement as far as like whether that was going to be something that was going to happen or not. So
yeah, I mean, cool. Like, I mostly use Twitter for like when there's some news things that I need to keep up with. That's mainly what I use Twitter for, and comedy. So I guess I was using it illegally before.
Yeah. See, I'm not on Twitter.
And you're not on the tweeters?
I think I'm kind of at the point now where I kind of like Twitter more than I like Facebook.
Oh, I agree with you 100% there. I just tweet out into the void, and then that's it. Like, I don't really go on Twitter to look up stuff. YouTube's kind of like my go-to for watching like shorts or like videos and stuff like that. I don't usually go to anywhere else.
No, I'm like the opposite. I don't really tweet or anything. I don't really share or post anything, but it's where I go to like kind of get more information if I need it.
Right.
Reddit is where I go for the gnarly stories, but if I want like teen drama, I'll usually go to Twitter. So
and I think the whole idea of especially making it so that comedians can be comedians, on Twitter, like, I think that's really positive. And it also, with the whole mindset that Musk has as far as Twitter being the community, like
the
free
town square.
The town square, yeah, that's how it's described. So basically making Twitter the town square, allowing people to freely, talk about things, debate, and stuff like that. I think that's really great, and I think that'll open up a lot more stuff so that a lot of these, these radical left woke ideologists, like, people can actually clap back now instead of them just being able to say what they want to say, and then if you disagree with them or if you refute, you're automatically canceled. Like, that kind of nonsense needs to stop, and it really sucks that companies like CNN and other left-leaning places are perpetuating cancelizations of people.
It's really hard when people aren't like, oh, you hurt my feelings, so we can't have a conversation.
You hurt my feelings, so you should no longer be able to talk to me.
You offended me. I mean, like, there have been so many people that have been rude and offended me, and you know what I mean? And it's just like,
Joe Rogan even came close to getting kicked off Twitter way back when that whole controversy was going on back in...
With the N-word? Or
I think that's what was going on. I don't remember.
Yeah, because
he said it once upon a time, like 8 years ago or something.
Yeah, like someone like...
Because he was quoting an article or something.
He was quoting articles and song lyrics. is
Yeah.
what he was quoting. He was asking people like legitimately like very curious, like, is it okay to like say these words or to use these things, and
Just wanting to have a conversation,
yeah.
but like ended up stirring up controversy instead.
Yeah, and he ended up apologizing, which I think is the wrong way to go.
I wonder if they're gonna let Donald Trump back on Twitter.
I don't know.
Probably
I kind
not,
of hope.
but, I mean,
I kind of hope that anybody that was banned because of wrongthink should be unbanned. But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, what's done is done. Let's just move forward.
That's
kind of
true.
a deal.
Well,
because like retroactively, I think that would take some time. Because like think of like how many hundreds or even thousands of accounts have been banned. Not to mention the most popular people that have, like, including Kanye West as of late.
Let's talk about the doctors, like the legitimate doctors that were banned for speaking out against the propaganda against
and
like
quoting
the
like
vaccine
FDA.
And, yeah, like it's toxic.
Like that Burnson guy that I was talking to you guys about. Like he was basically like quoting FDC like mandates and stuff like that. Like he was quoting a bunch of stuff that was like, you know, released by the government, but he was still like banned for, and he was one of the guys that were, that was on, or even the doctor that was working on the mRNA.
Yeah. He got banned off Twitter.
Yeah, he got banned off of Twitter. It's like, what? The 4 leading guy that created it is now banned? Like, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, because he was saying, like, be cautious of he's like, I would not recommend doing this to your children. mRNA literally changes the DNA of your blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I don't know. I don't have any references, so I don't want to go off on it.
Right.
And potentially get whatever this,
But yeah, it'd be interesting if all those individuals were released back into the world, like even Donald Trump. I don't think Donald Trump would even go back to Twitter. I think because he has his own platform now. Like I think
he promotes Parler.
Yeah, I don't think he'll go back.
Which is now known as an extreme right.
It's an extremist neo-Nazi
platform.
Radical right-leaning like platform apparently. And it's like it's so tame comparative to Twitter, but at least that's been my experience.
Yeah.
But, you know, I digress. But what does this mean as far as like, you know, moving forward? Like how much more truth can be like, you know, shared now? Like instead of it being squashed because it's not a part of, you know, a certain
narrative,
you know, leaning narrative. Like on the right or the left. Like there's some stuff on the right I'm just like, that's nonsense.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more on the left that's like, okay, what are we talking about here?
I guess we'll probably just have to wait and see and find out when the time comes. Something tells me that someone will probably get pissed off at a tweet and take it to Twitter, and Elon's going to be like, it's a freedom of speech platform. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, kick rocks.
Like,
pound sand.
Well, and here's the reality. People can choose whether to be offended or not.
Yeah, the offense is on the person who's being offended, not the person that's saying something.
If you choose to be offended by what people are saying, that's on you.
Yep. 100%.
I get offended by stuff that people say on Twitter all the time. I'm not complaining about it. Like, they can say whatever they want to say. I don't care.
Yeah.
But
that's because you understand like the freedom of speech. Like it's like, yeah, say whatever you want. Like who cares? Like if I don't want to like read it, I just won't look at it. I won't read it. Like
you have the freedom to say whatever you want on this platform. I mean, like, that's fine. It might be offensive to some people, but I mean, like, that's a them problem. If I get offended by something that you say, that's a me problem.
Yeah.
Like,
and I don't think like, especially like, and surprisingly, because you are part of kind of a younger generation, like a lot of the generation where you're at right now, that's like 100% how people act and react. So if I say something that could be construed as offensive, not only will they be offensive for their sake and be like, oh, that's really offensive to me, but they'll also be offended for everybody else's sake, and saying, oh, well, that's bad because, insert race or sex or, political leanings or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's really sad because that doesn't promote like anything good into the world.
100%. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Me too. I think it's a win for freedom of speech for sure.
Definitely got to wait and see how it turns out and where it goes from here. So,
yeah.
Yep. I know there are certainly like a lot of people that are probably really pissed off about Elon Musk buying Twitter. But I mean, people are going to say what they're going to say. They're going to think what they want to think.
You know what? Life is meant for lessons, and
it's supposed to be uncomfortable. Like, life's not supposed to be comfortable.
Growth happens when you're uncomfortable, right? Like, it happens just outside your comfort zone. And if all you want is to be comforted and coddled all the time, then you're not going to grow.
You're going to have a hard time in this world if that's your outlook on life.
Yep.
Is that it's supposed to be easy.
And
I'm supposed to get everything I want.
people to give you everything you want, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't compel people to have a certain thought process or ideology and everything, and nor should you, right? Like, when it's all leaning towards one, there's I don't know. That's why this country is so unique and why it's so important, but it's also, I don't know. Life is interesting. People need to just chill the frick out, smoke some more marijuana.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched this movie on weed? Come on, man.
Rianne for leadership.
Rianne for VP.
I don't know.
Trump
Apparently
Rianne
I'm
2024.
too intense.
No, I'm just kidding.
Apparently I'm not a good leader because I get frustrated and I'm human. So
I think you're a great leader.
And we all are. We all are human. We're all going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand. It's like when people make mistakes, it's like, well, why don't we work through that mistake and make each other better in the situation and move forward rather than, well, you make a mistake, so you're no longer allowed to do the thing that you're doing. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. It's like, that's not human at all.
You're right. It's not. But I think we're in a weird time of life where, I don't know, people are, I mean, like, I don't care what you want to do, right? Like, do what you want to do, but why impose on me?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's frustrating. And where we don't allow grace for each other right now, I think that's really frustrating, and causing a lot of division and upheaval. And you can see it, like, people feel it, right? They feel it. And it's just like, how do you get out of it when it's everywhere?
Yeah.
And I think social media is kind of, social media is a big propaganda of it. Like, not propaganda, promoter of intensity and
of the division propaganda,
and division,
for sure.
and all that stuff. And it's hard because it's like, dude, people, we just need to love each other.
Yeah.
People make mistakes. People are doing the best they can with the resources they have. Like, and they go through, like, they get frustrated, they get hurt, whatever. Great. Let them have that. But then also give them grace, right?
Yeah.
Like, going to the, anyway. It's just, it's so polarizing and it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Because one side or the other isn't always right. Mm-hmm. There's often, and that's what's so frustrating, is because there's so much commentary and so much information. And, like, I'm taking it back to spiritual, but I remember being in primary and, like, they were saying a sign of the times is good will be bad and bad will be good. You know what I mean? Like, and there will be great division and wars and rumors of wars and all this stuff. And I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm like, dang, that feels really real right now. You know what I mean?
But it's also a pattern of humanity, which which occurs
Yeah.
all the time. Unfortunately, we keep making those mistakes. So it's just a matter of time before those self-prophecies will be self-fulfilled. So.
Those who do not learn from history are condemned to repeat it.
Yeah.
It's true. And
and the way that the radical left is going right now, especially down the road of fascism and socialism, like those are the things that we fought against, like ever since the birth of our country.
Well, and you want to know something funny is they say the exact same thing about the right.
Uh-huh.
And they say that we're the fascist, like, I'm not even, like...
Which is really
They say the right is the fascists, and they're going to be a threat to democracy. Well, here's the reality. We are a republic. We're not a democracy.
Right. Representative republic, yeah.
Yeah, and people... it's sad because I don't feel like that's being taught in our schools, and that's... People don't have a full understanding of what makes America so unique. And it's hard.
Yeah.
So.
Did you have a thought, Alakai? Sorry, it seemed like you were...
No, I didn't.
Okay. Well, speaking of cancelizations, let's talk about this for a minute.
Kanye West.
Yeah. One of the most interesting cancelizations right now is Mr. Yeezy himself.
Yay.
Oh, Ye? Mr. Ye himself?
His name is Ye now.
I don't know why I said Yeezy.
Why is it Ye now?
Or are those his shoes?
He's just doing
the
it.
Yeezy
No.
shoe?
He's just doing like Diddy did. Like it was Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. So Kanye. So he went from Kanye West to Kanye, the Ye.
Kanye with the Yeezys. Now Ye. So this is the story that I didn't read. So do you want to tell us the story?
Yeah. Give us a synopsis, Jacob.
Okay, so basically what's going on is that there's been some kind of stuff that have happened over, I want to say, for sure, like this year, but definitely over the month of October, it seems that these individuals that have been kind of following him have had some interesting stuff happen.
What do you mean?
So this one, West, Candace Owens, at least one. Sorry, let me switch this over.
Oh yeah, they showed up to Fashion Week.
So at least one model wears shirts with "White Lives Matter" written on them at West Yeezy's fashion known in Paris. The Southern Poverty Law Center says the term is associated with a neo-Nazi group with that same name that was founded as a racist response to the civil rights movement Black Lives Matter, and describes itself as a dedicated promotion of the white race and taking positive action as a united voice against issues facing our race.
Huh.
Well, I don't know how true that is. Of course, they don't list.
But they say anything that's
they don't
against,
have anything linked. Yeah, they'll definitely
anything against. If like, that's what's hard is because like. Anybody is labeled an extremist at this point.
Yeah, it seems like if you have anything that's remotely disagreeing with the current democratic narrative, it's like labeled racist, fascist, Nazi, racist. I said that twice.
Well, I don't know.
But it seems like that's kind of the motive. Instead of saying, hey, we disagree with this and this is why, it's, oh, these people are racist. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. Especially when they don't share their citations. That's the thing that I don't understand. It's like, especially with something like Forbes.com or some kind of big like internet stuff, like they should at least have like stuff we can link to so we can understand where this is coming from. So it says it's associated with this neo-Nazi group, but there's no link to that group to say, okay, here's where they're doing that as well. That's what I don't like about it.
Meaning it's claiming that it's tied to a neo-Nazi group, but there's no proof that it is linked to a neo-Nazi group. It's just a claim with no...
It's just a claim. They don't like have a citation saying, hey, this is the group that's associated to. Here's the proof.
Here's the proof that it's associated to a neo-Nazi group.
Correct.
So it's just a blanket claim.
Yes. So here's the sorry, you guys. I thought I was able to find this relatively easy, but there's apparently a tweet, I guess I should say, tweet from Kanye West that he said about the Jews. I'm not really sure exactly what that's all about, but I'm trying to find an image of it so that we can read it together. I had it. Oh, here it is.
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes Kanye is really hard to follow.
He is. He's kind of he's an interesting person. So apologize, guys, if this offends anybody, but I don't even know if this is doctored or not.
It kind of looks like it.
I don't even know. But this is the one.
Because look at the spacing in that. Like, we're gonna go DEFCON.
I'm just saying.
Space.
We're taking all of this with a grain of salt, just because we don't 100% know one way or the other if this is like a legit thing, if he was hacked. Like, we don't know. Maybe he did really say it. I don't even know. But he says, I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3. I'm sure he meant DEFCON on Jewish people. The funny thing is, I actually can't be anti-Semitic because black people are actually Jew also. You guys have toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone who opposes your agenda.
What?
So apparently this is anti-Semitic.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's kind of hard to follow his train of thought sometimes. Like, if you've ever if you watched his watched the episode with Joe Rogan and him.
Oh, he's hard to follow. Yeah, he's difficult.
I haven't watched that one, but
he's a hard person to follow sometimes. And then, like, he did an interview recently, I guess, with Tucker Carlson too.
So here's a minute clip. You want me to show this minute clip so that you guys can kind of see an example of Kanye West?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know how in context this will be, but
well, what's the topic?
He was running for president.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is when he was running for president, I believe. Yeah.
And he got like 1,000 people voting for him.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. West. God's God, Bob, God.
Okay.
What?
That's a remix.
That's a remix. My bad. I thought that was.
Go to JRE Experience on YouTube, and you'll probably find.
Just watching Jacob Google.
Yeah, this might be the full one.
Joe Rogan podcast, check it out.
Okay, so this is the full one. I don't know. Let's just jump ahead here and let's just listen to
a podcast. Listening to a podcast.
So, why did you agree to let them do this to you? Why did you agree to let them medicate you?
Oh, this is in response to
if that
some of his
I'm
depression
crazy,
and stuff.
for sure. But if someone came to me and go, "Hey, we're going to put you on some medication. That medication is going to calm you down," I'd be like,
What?
Who?
everything I do is because I'm not calm. Everything that I've ever done that's made me successful is because I have more energy. Is because I have a wildness. Like, I'm not calming that down.
So
like,
this
I know how to
isn't-
calm myself down.
this
I
isn't
can
a-
self-medicate with exercise,
great
and medication,
example.
and marijuana, and a bunch of different things. But I'm not gonna take some medication that
Maybe we'll get him to
removes
speak here in a second.
anything that's unique. With you and all these wild ideas that come to your head, like, very few people could string together these thoughts the way you're describing them today. If somebody asked me if there's anything wrong with him, he's filled with awesome.
Oh, sorry,
like,
guys.
what's wrong with that? If you can keep that together, what you just did, the way you just described, reimagining civilization, reimagining church, reimagining.
Okay,
the
go
food
back a little bit
supplies.
then.
There's nothing.
Because
right there. But the thing, maniac, is memories. They're lying. I don't know, like father, like son, right there. But you see this character that's made for black people to idolize, that was designed by a white person.
So I don't know.
And put out by a white company. So it's controlling the narrative to say, we're going to show you Harriet Tubman. We're not going to show you Nat Turner. And they do it every chance they get. Maleficent, they called her race of people the Moors. And the Moors are, and I just saw it again. And I was just like, yo, if you erase.
Okay, maybe this isn't the best example.
But that's him. Like, he stops mid-sentence and, like, jumps around and stuff, and it's kind of hard.
Maybe this clip
To
from
follow
this
him.
interview
Granted,
would
not
make
really
more
any
sense.
context for that. But.
Do you
Yeah.
believe that you have any form of mental illness?
Oh,
Try
yeah.
this.
I've seen this.
I believe that I suffered from exhaustion. I suffered from being lied to constantly by the people
I feel-
around me,
I feel him
by my
that.
management, by my ex-wife. And I believe those things can drive anyone to a point of maximum exhaustion. But I also believe that I'm extremely brilliant and I'm here to make the world a better place. And I'm tired of the left media trying to pick on me. And y'all picked on me enough, and y'all finally touched the person that's not gonna take it anymore.
Yeah, that's
And that's part of the reason why I'm on Uncensored.
one of the many other reasons we started the podcast.
1% of the world are placed in power, and 99% of the world are the audience. So that 1% of the world, this idea of a United Nations, this is the world that needs to come together. This is the world that, I mean, here's the obvious go-to. Biden doesn't listen to Elon Musk. The president of the United States does not have meetings with Elon Musk. That
has many
is-
meetings with other people though.
Hey, here, come get me. That's I know I'm not supposed to say that, Biden, but that's and obviously because I've been deemed with mental health, all this, I have the right to use whatever words that I like to use.
Well, that's interesting. So
Hey, ask another question.
Well, yeah, let me ask you on that. So you just said something very inflammatory about President Biden. It will, as you know,
So?
offend a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it
So?
will particularly offend people who work in mental health.
Sorry.
You say you should not use a word like
That's funny. So they've kind of pegged Kanye because of these things that he said. He's also said some stuff. So apparently that tweet was deemed bad. So because of that tweet, he was removed from Twitter. So he's banned, right? This is all in the month of October. So after West publicly complained about his contract with Adidas to make Yeezy products, Adidas says it's putting its long-standing relationship with West under review. And in response, West writes on Instagram, F Adidas, I am Adidas. And Adidas essayed and stole my designs. Apparently said this in an interview publicly. So an interview with Fox News, Tucker Carlson, of course, because Tucker Carlson is apparently a racist, fascist, and
he's inflammatory
he's bad,
too.
but he is. He's very divisive, and he's very
He's
polarizing for sure. I completely agree. And honestly, some of these right leaning groups like Fox News and Tucker Carlson and Dan Bongino, sometimes they kind of reach a little too much. Like this is part of the reason I struggle with saying I am a full-on conservative Republican, because it's the thought process now is like everything is a conspiracy, and even when the the evidence is right there, it's like everything's a conspiracy. Now, although more often than not, just like Alex Jones, a lot of these things come out and they end up being true.
Well, it's
but
funny
there's
'cause,
still
like,
that small percentage of like 20 or 30%, which it goes too far. But anyway, so an interview with Fox News, Tucker Carlson. West wears an ultrasound photo around his neck to demonstrate his pro-life views, and basically claims there is more black babies being aborted than born in New York at this point. 50% of black death in America is abortion. And then brings up singer Lizzo then saying being overweight is genocide of the black race.
Because it promotes an unhealthy lifestyle.
Right. And actually, especially black and brown communities, that's where these abortion clinics are unfortunately centered.
Well, to be honest, Planned Parenthood was a eugenics experiment started by Margaret Sanger.
Yep.
Who put them in who put them in predominantly color, like
non-white America, basically.
Non-white American communities, and encouraged people to get abortions because they couldn't afford it or they couldn't take care of the baby and stuff. And so it was like, if you look at the history of Planned Parenthood, it has a very nefarious history.
Mm-hmm.
Very nefarious. And like, I don't know. This is a very sensitive topic, but when Planned Parenthood doesn't report, like, people on the left will say, yeah, but your Republican senators take their mistresses in to go get abortions all the time. And I'm like, yeah,
that's bad too.
That's bad too. Like,
it's bad on
but
both
like,
sides of the aisle with
how
this
how
issue.
many child victims of human trafficking have been taken to Planned Parenthood to abort unwanted pregnancies from their johns? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they don't go reported.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. So basically, the rest of these things in October, basically on this Forbes thing, it kind of riffs a little bit more on that remark from Twitter, and that was their reasoning that he was taken down. So he's pretty much banned on all social media, especially on Twitter. Like he's losing Adidas. He's pretty much, this is like the, a classic cancellation basically.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts, Alaka? You're over there really, really quiet.
I mean, honestly, like, I don't really follow Kanye West, so like I know absolutely nothing about him. So like this, to me, I'm just kind of like, okay.
I don't know that much about him either. I don't even listen to his music, but
yeah, I don't listen to his music. I don't listen to his views. I mean, like,
as of late, he's definitely been a more outspoken conservative,
mm-hmm.
for sure.
But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm not really saying much because I don't really have much to say on it. So, yeah, yeah.
got it.
But this is the thing, is that like he didn't say anything like, oh, I hate Jews or Jews should die or anything like that would promote like violence, for an example. Because the whole term DEFCON 3 has a very different context than I believe the left is really portraying it on like CNN and stuff like that. So DEFCON 3, let's go ahead and bring that up really quick. DEFCON 3 means increase in force readiness above normal readiness. That would be used in situations that may not pose immediate danger but warranted significant alert. Under this warning, the military must be prepared to launch operations within 15 minutes of warning.
So it's a military term.
It's a military term. Like, he's not saying he's going to go out and hurt people. That's what I don't understand, like how it's anti-Semitic. I don't understand why, people are thinking that this is, something he's talking about hurting people, which that's just not the case, in my opinion. I mean, this is how I'm looking at it right now. But I'm also trying to look at it through the lens of, everybody is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law kind of a deal. And it just kind of is interesting, especially when it comes to social media and news outlets and stuff. It seems like the court of opinion is the end all be all now for people's reputation, their business. And yeah, I mean, if I was Adidas and somebody that was a part of, our team of promoting like my shoes and my apparel and stuff, and somebody says F Adidas, they stole all my designs, and I mean that term right here, raped is not especially when it comes to designs and shoes. I don't see how that applies.
Yeah, that
but
bugs me.
That kind of bugs me too. But as far as like, just saying, F my company, I'd be pretty upset about it. I'll be honest. Like,
I mean,
I would put, him under review just for saying that.
I mean, Kanye's being super extreme right now. Like,
he is being very
representing
extreme.
the extreme on the right side, which I don't agree with at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I
agree.
I don't agree with how he's going about doing it. It's not effective. It's not helpful. Just like it's not effective or helpful when the left does it. Like, it's not
conducive.
It's just divisive again. It's feeding into the divisiveness, and it bothers me. I think we all need to stop being so divisive.
Yeah. We also need to stop being so offended for offense sake. It's like, I'm going to be offended about that because people should be offended. Yeah, because I can, or because somebody should be offended. Like that's not right. It doesn't seem right to me. So I should be offended for everybody else's sake. And it's like,
there's no problems, so
No.
don't start any.
exactly. Exactly. Go about your damn business.
Why is it that big of a deal? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally the only reason it's a big deal right now is because you're making it a big deal. So.
Yeah. Exactly. It'd be like some Karen coming out of her house and being like, you know, like let's say something happened and my foot slipped off of the brake and it hit the gas and so it revved my engine, and then some Karen came up and be like, "What are you doing revving engines? You shouldn't be doing that." But nobody was hurt. I didn't hurt anybody. Nobody hurt me. Like, it's like, let's be offended for offense sake. Like, that doesn't make any freaking sense.
no.
It's like, you know, go kick rocks. Go pound sand. We don't care. Sorry.
It's funny.
But my issue with this is that if we keep going down this road, these people who, you know, have not only have the ability to think, but have like these big platforms to share what they think and stuff, I think it should be perfectly okay for people to share what they think, like even on their platforms, even to their, you know, to their fans. Like, even if I feel that it's completely wrong, like, you should have the ability to speak your mind, you know? But what I don't like is that, you know, when people have chosen, we don't like what this person has said, and now we're going to take everything from that person. I think that should be illegal. Like, I don't think you should have repercussions because of your beliefs. I don't think you should have
fascism.
repercussions. What? Fascism?
That is fascism.
That you don't
like-
have repercussions for the things that you say?
No, that you take away everything because of a person's thought. Like, because
Yes.
their thought pattern doesn't align with you, or their ideology doesn't align with you, then they're not allowed to exist.
Yeah,
Or-
that is fascism. That's like classic definition.
I don't know.
And it's like funny because the Conservative Party is so far away from fascism. Like, if you went down the line and like aligned all the ideologies between fascism and conservatism, like, that does not compute. In fact, especially where, you know, the Democratic Party is right now, quite a few of those ideologies reflecting from fascism to the Democratic Party are actually starting to align as of late.
Yeah.
And that hasn't been the case in the past. Democratic Party has been very different in the past. Like, it's only been in the last couple of elections that it's been
Super
very
extreme.
radicalized and very extreme. More so than the Conservative Party, in my opinion. In fact, I believe the Conservative Party is much more quiet than the Democratic Party individuals.
I don't know.
At least that's been my experience. I could be wrong, and I could be, you know, misrepresenting, but that's kind of been...
I think we all
Very
need to
interesting.
stop. I think everybody needs to get out of the church of modern politics
Yeah,
and get back to
the basics.
the basics of one love.
Yeah.
One
heart,
heart, let's get together and
Yeah.
feel
That's what I'm saying. Like,
alright.
I feel like just extremism, politics, everything, we've gotten out of touch with what makes us real as a human species.
Mhm.
And it's so interesting because, like, the Judeo-Christian values that the country was founded on have kind of gone by the wayside for various reasons, right? Like, there's lots of reasons, but I feel like politics has become a religion, so to speak.
It has.
Yeah,
And
it's definitely feeling that way for sure.
that's the hard part, because, like, extreme Christian views and stuff are very, very detrimental. Extreme, you know what I mean? Like, extremism in any religion,
Yeah,
can
on any
be
side
dangerous.
of the aisle for sure.
but like extremism in politics and stuff is just the same. It's just people.
People are pushing their beliefs, their political belief. Wow, I can't speak. People are pushing their political beliefs on each other the same way that religious people do that with
Yeah.
everybody else. So, I mean,
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
we had a good friend's mother tell Rianne that she was part of the problem because she wasn't vaccinated.
Yeah,
Yeah, we were like,
and then I'm
we
gonna.
can't be friends anymore.
And you want to know something so funny is I haven't been sick at all. The only reason why I'm not feeling good now is because I've got mental emotional stuff. You know what I mean? But like,
well, over the last 2 years, I've only had the Rona once.
Honestly, when I got the vaccine, I felt more sick than when I had COVID.
That's been most people's experiences. Like I have buddies from work. I have other friends that have said the same thing, like family members and stuff.
well,
I wouldn't have gotten the vaccine if I didn't have to. I told you guys why I got it. Yeah.
And
So-
honestly,
And
I
that's-
think those
you
are
know,
very honorable and admirable like
I
reasons to
get
take
it
for
why
sure.
you did it, but like that,
no boosters, nothing. Like,
it's so disconcerting that they wouldn't allow you to be with your mom, like based off of that. You know what I mean? That's so sad to me. Because anyway,
very, very manipulative.
yes,
Yeah,
tactic.
for sure.
yeah, yeah. It's not like yeah, you have a choice, but
Like,
here's
I'll
your
swallow
choice.
my
a
pride.
rock and a hard place.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll swallow my pride. I'll do anything for my mom. So I mean, like,
How is your mom doing?
she's doing fantastic.
Good.
Thank you for
That's
asking.
excellent.
Good.
Yeah.
But like, so for instance, like my best bud that I was telling you about that I love very much and has 7 children. he got the first 2 shots, but didn't get any boosters or anything. But he has been sick like 3 times in the last 3 months, like really, 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 really sick.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, that's so weird to me.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway,
Well, I guess
hey, what's our time?
I was gonna ask Alakai like what
Oh,
his.
yeah.
We're about to wrap up, but
Yeah.
I was gonna ask. Now I forgot. I was
That's
gonna
fine.
ask you a really. It wasn't not imposing, but it was kind of a really good question to ask you because you're around a lot of individuals that are closer to your age and younger because you're like in
More or
college and
less.
stuff like more or less. But what's been the consensus as far as like religious, political, like realm in your school? Like, are people like very open with that kind of stuff? Are people talking about it a lot? Or is it mostly like, race based or sex based, like discussions? Like, I'm just kind of curious what your experience is in college.
So it's interesting because being at because I attend Southern Utah University.
Yeah.
As do I.
As
But
does
I'm
Rian.
online, so it's different a little
Yeah.
bit.
So it's interesting because this is a school in Utah, there are a lot of Mormons. Right?
Okay. Right.
There are also a lot of ex-Mormons. And I tend to gravitate more towards the ex-Mormons than the Mormons do because Mormons tend to get pretty easily offended around me. So,
Or they want you to go to church with them. One of the two.
well, I mean, I don't think they want me at church with them. So,
What?
but no, I went to church a couple of years ago with someone as she was going on her mission, like for her farewell, and I was like, all right, this is probably going to be the last time I come to church. And
Was that
that she was
was
just
that
like-
where we met you? Is that the
No,
one?
no,
Oh, okay.
No,
It
it's
was-
a different one.
it was
Different person.
this is here in
Oh, in
at
Cedar.
SU. It was
Okay.
someone that I knew from school. No, but it's interesting because like the school is 98% everybody in their like between 18 and like their early 20s, right? So that being said, a lot of them are kids that have just like moved out for the first time. They have all the freedom away from their parents, and now they're discovering that like, oh, like I'm an individual and I can do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Because they haven't really had that freedom before. So now like that stuff is kind of pushing them to leave the conservative side of their beliefs and kind of go more towards a liberal aspect. And I think it's just that I think a lot of it has to do with like taking advantage of the freedom and like automatically jumping on the left side because that's
Because it's
Different than
just
what
so
they
different
know.
than what they've known.
it's so different from what they've known, and it's so like, no pun intended, but it's emotionally and mentally liberating for them, it seems.
Yeah.
So like,
I can see that.
And honestly, if I wasn't a moderate conservative, I would probably be more liberal because the way Democrats are right now is just insane.
see, and I've always just kind of been in the middle. You guys know that.
Yeah. You're a very good fence sitter.
yeah, good fence
You're
sitter.
very good at
Because it's
it.
just like so I saw this meme the
or
other day.
you're just a reasonable person.
Yeah,
I would like to
That's-
think so.
yeah.
I would hope so.
I don't think
I
it's
agree with
fence
that.
sitting. I think
I
it's
agree
just
with that.
being able to see.
I fence sit on a lot of things too. So.
No, so like there was this like political comic that I saw the other day. It was like these two people. It was an abortion thing. So you have like this one guy with a picket sign that's saying pro-life, and then you have another one that's saying pro-choice, and then you have this other guy off to the side, and I think this one is me. And he's holding a sign with sunglasses, and he's like, "Abort the government."
Yes. Amen. Amen.
At least
I'm like, yeah,
greatly
that's-
reduce it.
like-
I don't think we should completely
Like-
cut it out, but
Like, well, either way, I'm like, yep, that's the sign.
Yeah.
That's the sign that
that's
I'm
the
gonna
vibe.
hold.
Yeah,
So-
for sure. That's definitely your vibe.
So I'm
But-
definitely more libertarian, where it's like government should have a very minimal
Yeah.
It's the
influence.
belief that like governments need to be afraid of their people. People shouldn't be afraid of the government.
Right.
Precisely.
And right now, I
Precisely.
feel like more people are afraid of the government.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely the
Yeah.
the sentiment right now for sure.
Yeah.
Because
But-
the government is meant to, well, especially, okay, that's why America, like, in America, it was set up for the fact that the government was meant to represent the people.
Uh-huh.
Like, very specifically, that's why the Constitution is the way it is and everything. And so,
Yeah.
like, when,
I feel like we're representing the government more than it's representing us.
yeah,
Amen to that.
yeah.
Amen to that.
The government's using propaganda to polarize and get people on each side and
Yeah.
everything, and it's just like, I don't want to align myself with the right. I don't want to align myself with the left. I want to align myself with, get the flip out of my space and let me live my life.
Yeah.
I'm trying to align myself with spreading love. That's all.
Yeah.
I like
that's
that.
all I'm
Yeah.
not.
And happiness for sure.
If there was a
We
candidate,
are the hippies.
if there was, yeah, if there was a
Yes.
candidate that ran and was like specifically trying to run based off of loving the people that they are and that they
Okay.
are in charge of.
That's
then-
what happened to Bernie Sanders. But
Ber-
he was
Oh.
remember what happened to Bernie Sanders?
Oh my God,
What?
little Bernie.
So
What?
basically,
Bernie.
so Bernie was a candidate a few
2016 and
presidential
2020.
back,
Yeah.
and basically he was getting a lot of traction. He was getting a lot of like good numbers at the polls.
Yep.
And basically, what happened is they changed the way that they could do not interviews, but the debates, and basically made it where the independent people like weren't allowed to go to them. So they would only have the people on either side of the aisle instead of those that are like independent or libertarian or whatever, and basically pushed him out of the race where he couldn't get his points across or anything because they wouldn't allow him in.
Yeah. Well,
So
and
Which
it's,
Tulsi,
it's
I
difficult to
really-
have like third and fourth parties like that if
I really like Tulsi Gabbard.
her story is a sad story. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Tulsi really quick?
Like, and that's the thing. I really like Tulsi. She's I think, for the American people, for like taking care of the vets, and she's just a freaking rock star. But she kind of pushed back against some of those in power in the Democratic Party, and then all of a sudden she became a Russian operative, and she's against and she was running for president. I would have voted for Tulsi 100%. I would have voted for Tulsi Gabbard 100%. I really like her, but
Yeah, she just recently announced on Joe Rogan's podcast that she's left
the Democratic
Party and she's become independent because she can't deal with all of their shenanigans.
Oh shoot!
anymore.
I think I was actually listening to her.
She's amazing.
I listen to a lot of Joe's random podcasts randomly, so I think I
Yeah,
might have
Tulsi.
listened to her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I would
she's
have voted for her too. She's brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
She's from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
So she's
congresswoman
served in the
Hawaii.
military. She was a congresswoman, and she was running for president. And like, she has got her head on her shoulders. She I really like Tulsi. Really like her. And the thing is she calls it out on both sides. And
She
that's
does.
why that's why she won't get elected. That's why they won't, because she's too reasonable.
I know.
Yeah, that's sad.
And
Which-
she won't follow the divisive So,
Yeah.
but that's what I think. Like, I think the majority of people in the country would align with like a Tulsi Gabbard. You know what I mean? And
It's like we're only given the two choices
yeah.
Yeah.
of blue and red, and it's
Yep.
like,
And was it Franklin who said like the two-party system will be the downfall of America? Which is,
I remember hearing that. I don't remember if that was.
I don't know who it
where
was,
it
but
came from.
Some
it was
president that
it
said
was a
it.
previous president. Like a two-party system will be the downfall of America.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't like. It's difficult to vote for somebody that may have some views that you agree
You
with,
know-
but then a lot of views that you don't. It's kind of hard to.
You know who I would love to see in the next presidential election?
Who?
Ron DeSantis and Tulsi Gabbard.
I think those would be pretty good candidates to.
Dwayne
run.
the Rock Johnson.
Uh,
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
He's-
kidding. I'm
he's-
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
He's
kidding.
He's too left.
I'm kidding.
I know you are.
I'm kidding.
You're an adorable man. You.
But I love Tulsi because she's Democrat or like follows the Democratic. You know what I mean? Like, not the extreme, but and then DeSantis is Republican, but he's also freedom based and he's done some good stuff.
If they had like DeSantis and Tulsi together, that might be an interesting match.
That would be awesome.
Because we'd get a real like vice president, female vice president that makes sense. Because I don't.
Or a
'cause-
female
'cause-
president and DeSantis vice president.
I mean, I think that's a possibility.
I like that idea. I'm all for that.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to that.
Yeah.
If it was an option, I'd vote for
So
it.
it'd be Orange Man, our current president, and Tulsi.
Well,
That'd
and
be interesting.
It used to be that
But she's not
the
going to run
vice
again.
president was.
She said she wasn't going to run again, though.
She did.
From what I understood from the last interview, it didn't sound like she was going to run for president again because she already did it once.
It's a lot
It
of
was
money.
tough. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of work.
And she did grassroots. Like she didn't get like pushed
No.
by the Republican Party or all these huge PACs or
Yeah.
the
Nope.
Democrat Party and stuff. And they got vicious
Yeah.
with her.
Yeah. It's a sad story, unfortunately. Any last thoughts?
I'm all thought out.
You're all thought out.
I'm exhausted. I'm
to
ready
go to
for
the
a
gym.
nap.
Ready for some lunch and a nap. Well, at least lunch. I have too much stuff to do to take a nap, but
Yeah.
all right. Well, you guys have a wonderful evening, and from our family to yours.
Good night.
Good night. Bye. Today's video is sponsored by viewers like you, so thank you. If we earned your subscription today, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button, click that damn bell, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a content release. The best way to support the channel is to like this video, share it with family and friends, and don't forget to leave a comment down below. Send all of your topic ideas, articles, and video links to theperiodicreview@gmail.com. All of our links are in the description down below.